Yo, what up? Good morning, GMG. Thursday. February 27th, 2025. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler Mando. What's up, y'all? How you guys doing this morning?
Fantastic. What about you?
I'm good. I'm vibing. I'm chilling, dude. I'm just chilling. It's just another day in bear market, you know? We're just doing a thing.
Don't hear nothing on the space, just be aware.
What?
There's not coming out of your microphone on the space.
Yeah, there's a problem on Twitter, I think, Sims, because like even but that's weird. I'm not doing anything different. Let me try again. Check. Yeah, it's working out, right? I think. Can I get some thumbs up? Thumbs up if you hear me. Give me some thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah. All right. Pinstripe seems to hear me. Yeah, I think it's working, right? Check. Yeah, it's definitely
Now
working.
it's going. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It was bugging this morning. It's funny. Twitter space. Honestly, like, man, Elon, please. This guy can land a rocket back on like chopsticks. Can't fix Twitter Spaces. You know, I don't. I think like generally, like, he seems to really care about X, right? It's like his media company, like is the biggest media town hall on earth. Like at least like I don't know, make the streaming better or like native streaming. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I don't know.
Since he's been in Washington, the
It's like
Twitter is going straight down.
Every night it like stops working. Do you guys get that too? Like when you're scrolling the feed, it's like buggy. It's like buggy. You feel it. You think it's your phone that's the problem, but it's actually the app.
Yes,
You get that?
I just kind of have to stop using it. Sometimes it's just so bad.
There's no chance. Dude, we're farming quacks now.
Yeah, I'm double farming info.
We're quacking.
Drops. I can't afford not to be tweeting every hour of the day.
We're quacking. We're quacking now, boys.
What is this new thing with farming?
I don't know, but use my code. I sent it to you. Just sign up. Just it's the new thing, okay?
It's perfect.
It's the new thing.
For Epic.
It's actually perfect for Epic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, quacks, ducks, quack. You know, it's Kaito, but it's called quacks instead of yaps. And it's another chain called the wall chain. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about it for a second after. Sit on the show. We got. I did DM your code though. You know, Logan sniped Tyler's quacks for me. That was beautiful. You should have seen that. That was like the sleekest MEV in real time. Man, Tyler sends a code in the FOMO hour chat. Logan grabs it, signs up. Tyler's out of codes. I come in to sign up. Logan hits me with his code. I have like 6,000 quacks. He gets 10% of it. Bang! Love to see that. That was like MEV'd in real time. I love that. Stop yapping, stop quacking. You're right. All right, let's stop yapping and quacking. Today on the show, market report as usual. Burgers woke up and said, nope, not today. I thought we'd get through around Thursday, but we'll see what we get. Tyler's top 100. Stick to 100 for now. Top 100. See what Tyler's got for us. Rollbit loot box spin, of course, towards the end of the show. Please, let's win something big. Let's get that. And then last but not least, this show is powered by Galaxis. Galaxis is a Web3 platform empowering creators and brands to build unstoppable communities with full ownership and independence, trusted by icons like Donald Trump, Steve Aoki, Mike Tyson, and the NBA, shaping together the future of engagement. Check them out. Galaxis. They're very, very good people. With that, Mando, let's get back to our market talk.
Who is the man, Macro Daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah, GM everyone. So you're still with us. Well done. We hit pretty hilarious levels of bearishness, I think, yesterday. We had a lot of oversold things starting to flash across crypto, basically at FTX levels on the Fear and Greed Index, or Luna levels on the Fear and Greed Index. So I think it's probably what people have been feeling in crypto for a while, but it suddenly did permeate through to Bitcoin. The lows was about 82K yesterday on Bitcoin. It's 82K. It bounced and then started to sell off as we over the last hour or two, just because Trump has kind of come out and said tariffs. if you take a step back, I think a lot of people in macro are picking up on this crypto sell-off. Like a lot of the macro accounts I post have been like, "Oh, Bitcoin's down this much," all this sort of stuff, and they're attributing that to the trade war, but also like, "Oh, we're about to go into a recession." Like macro is like taking a bit of a lead here from crypto. Like it's definitely something that a lot of people are following. That suddenly crypto has fallen out of bed here. But yeah, we did seem very oversold for where we were. Obviously, at the same time, as we've spoken about, gold is continuing to hit all-time highs. Bitcoin can have a high correlation to risk assets, but then also has a high correlation to gold. So it feels as right now we just got caught in the sell-off. Interestingly, yesterday altcoins started to outperform Bitcoin again. Altcoins away from ETH, so ETH kind of headed lower again today, and that is only about 2% off its low from yesterday, whereas most other things bounced a decent amount, I would say, from that from that low. So Bitcoin dominance has kind of gone down to below 61%.
Oh yeah,
yeah, under 61% even, but
that's true.
higher since on the day today because ETH is down.
Yeah,
a few other things have moved out. So I don't know. Again, is ETH time to shine here with Solana?
No, don't say that, please, dude.
Getting destroyed, and it hasn't really taken up the mantle, so to speak. The strongest coins in crypto continue to be the new coins. So if that seems to be the play here, buy a new coin. We've had Kaito go towards 3 billion. We've had
crushing, dude. Holy shit.
Story Protocol just keeps on going much higher. You've had this Pi Network coin.
Yeah, I saw that. What is Pi Network?
What it is.
But it's provocative.
Yeah, that one's gone up to like 20 billion FTV.
What?
Yeah,
no,
dude.
200. No, 20. 20. Sorry, 20.
Nah, it's
20.
Not 200.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think it's 200.
I don't know. I'm fried this morning. Go ahead. Keep on.
And so it's like,
why is it doing this?
A lot of new coins are trading very well. So
yeah.
I think that's just again a shift away from like how people make money. Outsized gains are often made from meme coins, NFTs, DeFi, or new launches. And it feels like the DeFi and new launches have taken over from the meme coin and NFTs for a little bit here, right? So like people are now playing those a bit more and seeing strength in them. And yeah, like it's just an interesting thing to pick up on over the last few days. Solana did look very oversold, went all the way down to kind of 130, I think, right? Or
yeah.
Today.
Let me see. I'll tell you. Yeah, something like that. Close. Yeah, 135.
I would say that a lot of stuff is starting to look oversold. Like Rao Powell came out and said, look, it's like it's the most sold off it's been since FTX 2022, like the worst sell-off ever. It is starting to get to those sort of levels. I wouldn't say that I have ever made money investing off
the RSI chart.
RSI charts. And the reason for that is that two reasons. RSI always can go lower. This is something that I've really realized so many different times, or it can always go higher. Like you can get yourself really wrecked. Really, really wrecked.
Yeah.
Like shorting something with high RSI or buying something with low RSI, because sometimes these things overshoot. They might even overshoot intraday. So like, I love that.
Just the first answer is like, replies like, what's the bull case for the crime chain? It just goes to tell you the state of like how people view it, right?
So yeah, going back to what I was saying, like, yeah, sometimes I see stuff overshoot intraday, and then and sometimes it just can continue to go for a long time, or like the bounce can be very short, and then actually the trend you're really picking up on there is like a real trend. So you buy RSI for a scalp. You don't necessarily buy RSI I want to hold this for like the next month. That's generally what I've found. Like if things have gotten to that level, it normally shows that yes, there's complete panic, but there's a reason behind the panic, or there's absolute euphoria, but there's a reason behind the euphoria. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, but Moon Carl said that last time the RSI was this low, Bitcoin pumped 120%.
So Bitcoin, I would say, interestingly, like, yeah, as we said, Bitcoin isn't crypto. So, but you could be seeing a change in macro here. Like, I continue to think that like this is being overblown from where we are, but there is worries that the Trump came out yesterday and said, look, we're going to slap a 25% tariff on the EU. The EU is an organization basically which was created to attack the US. Very aggressive rhetoric against the EU here. And then today said we're going to slap tariffs on China, an extra 10% on China, and we're going to.
There was confusion on that statement, by the way. We're not sure what he said.
Well, maybe we're not sure, but let's just say he's throwing tariffs out there left, right, center. He said Canada and Mexico. It is very strange because like this is kind of a breakdown of the global world order, so to speak, or a lot of alliances are really being put into question here with what's going on, right? Like if you're going to be praising Putin and then attacking the EU, like that's whether you agree with that or not.
He's just throwing darts at the wall right now. It's like,
whether you agree with that or not, it feels like that's a big change in policy.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
And the general sense that I think people in Europe feel is that like the US is no longer there for them, and that comes from both a defense standpoint, but also broader alliance in terms of economic terms as well. So
is that a valid? Is this valid, guys? Mando here, just quickly, like, is it strange U.S. matching tariffs that the rest of the world has on us? Is that accurate?
Very accurate. EU has a blanket tariff, but it's had one for many years, like decades now. And the same with it. Like this is very common for most other countries to actually have tariffs, particularly around agricultural stuff. It's something that like most countries, for example, if you want to bring rice into India, you get charged, like, I don't know what the tariff is. It's something like 150%. Like, a lot of it is to protect local farmers, local
Got it.
and that. And EU is very it has a common external tariff on a ton of goods, which many countries have sought to try and get behind, or like to not experience it, and they always they keep on having the tariffs. So
I see.
This is a big attack on that, but it's more like at the base level. If you're saying the EU is an organization that's been set up to attack the US,
well, that's it. Yeah.
I don't think many people in the EU would agree that the EU was created to attack the.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, the EU has probably you could argue that it has hurt its own,
but it has
countries than the US itself, right? What's up, Tyler? What do you think?
Well, Trump uses hyperbole. He's a master of it, but just listen back to this statement. The EU has had tariffs on the US that weren't reciprocal. The US was getting screwed in the deal. Like, isn't that?
This is not what I'm saying. Like whether we're trying to talk about fairness or not, what I'm saying is you're seeing a breakdown of. I'm not on the. I don't care about the fairness bit of it. What I'm telling you right now is you're seeing a breakdown of the global world order here, right? Agreed. Where largely Trump's saying, look, I want to do a wide trade deal with Russia. I want to potentially do that with Xi. Europe is getting a lot of flack here. He came out yesterday and said, basically deal with your own problems, and we're going to put tariffs on you. He met Macron obviously earlier in the week, and he's meeting the Starmer this week as well. But like that's just a change in geopolitics that's just happening. And maybe it's been flagged for a while that the US doesn't really care about Europe anymore and cares way more about Asia. But that, like, you're seeing that in real time right now. And that's causing a little bit of markets to freak out slightly. Like the fact that like this has been a multi-decade implicit agreement essentially between the US and some of its like stated allies, let's say,
Yeah.
or, like economic partners, that seems to be kind of coming away at the seams, and markets are reacting slightly negatively to it. And I kind of feel like it's going to continue. Like my guess here is that Trump is like doesn't care that much about the EU.
I feel like we know what we got right with him.
Yeah,
it's like it was always going to be this like very intense, large statements, hard like Tyler said. I think Tyler, you've said that many times on the show, but
I mean, he's ripping the Band-Aid off. And like I will say, like, I don't think I expected the US to be more in bed with Russia and China in February 2025 than Europe and Canada.
Right.
Like that, I think that is a surprise, and that is causing some of the volatility for sure.
Yeah.
I think someone said, who was it? Someone this week said something like, it's the best thing with Donald Trump is to judge him on his actions rather than his statements.
Yes, this is true.
Like if you ignore what he says and you just focus on what he does, right? Which in the last week, right, he managed to get a minerals deal with Ukraine, right? Which, whether you like it still or not, I think that deal is pretty good for the US, although it does call into question like whether other countries in would like necessarily beckon them for like aid in the future. But it is a good deal for the US. He didn't particularly have to call like Zelensky a dictator and like, but like the hyperbole of the language, like you just said about the EU, is what people like becomes the headline.
And then you dig into it and you're like, oh fuck, like there's something there.
Right. So well, yeah, I'm not going to go into that too much.
Or not.
I think my point about it is like, I do think his outcomes will be better than his methods. And I think people will sometimes be put off by the methods, which is very aggressive rhetoric, pushes it to the limit of a lot of things he says. And then, which is kind of, I remember kind of from the first term, and then maybe in a couple of years, you'd be like, you look back and actually what happened. And it can be very different if you just like ignore how you kind of got there. So I don't know what's going to happen with the EU, but the language being used is very aggressive, in my opinion. And we haven't seen that for a long time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's always going to be like that. I mean, you can always see even by the comments even here. It's like it's so polarizing. You know, you'll have people saying, "Oh, but that's right," and he's right, and then you have people like, "Oh, fuck, what he's saying is crazy." Then, like, you literally, if you read the comments right on the right hand side of our StreamYard, it's like you can see like the how polarizing he's been. But yeah, we'll wait for the actions. But how long has it been? Like 2 months now? 1 month? 6 months?
6
Yeah.
weeks?
6
Not
weeks?
even that long.
Not even. That's the thing. It's like I'm in the camp of waiting, though. Like, you know, there are some stuff sometimes, like the fucking like Gaza video yesterday, AI, like this. Then he does shit like that, and you're like, fuck. Like,
Right,
you know,
but like,
you want to support it, and then you're like, oh, like I just can't. Personally
do you
speaking, I
think
can't.
that
But
plan is even going to happen? Like,
no, it's not. But like the
like,
AI video is crazy. Like, there's like, I don't want to get political on this show, but it's just like, you know, because I've been supporting, like, you know, I'm like, oh, yo, I think he's gonna be good for US. I think he's gonna do well. But then he drops a video like this, and I'm like, dude, like,
but what he's actually, I think, doing then is pressuring Egypt and Jordan to come up with their own plan.
Of course. Just
So
like
then
he did with France, and
you might end up in a year or two's time, and you'd be like, okay, actually, well, that actually happened, and the only way
I know.
was
It's just
to
sometimes it's out of taste.
It's completely out of taste at times, right?
You know?
Like to attack the way I thought the way attack Zelensky, and now Zelensky's coming to the White House next week, this week,
and he did that with Trudeau, right? He did that with Trudeau. He did that with Mexico, the cartels. Like, yo, we're gonna fly drones over your fucking country. You're gonna stop, you know, shipping us drugs, and then all of a sudden, like, you could argue that like it's like a I mean, it's not arguable. It's a tactic, right? It's like a.
Of course, it is. He takes it to the limit.
You know,
shock. He freaks everyone out, and then. Ideally, I think there's some sort of concept that something's going to happen in the end. Anyway.
Anyway.
but that is freaking out markets, and we kind of said that would happen. Before he even came into office, we said that would happen, and markets are not reacting that well to it. There was some weaker economic data over the last 48 hours too. Interestingly, you start to see a yield inversion as well in bond yields, which people have pointed to a recession before. But, people are now starting to price in rate cuts, which we kind of spoke about yesterday. There's a lot of focus on this 10-year yield, maybe even over the stock market. Nvidia results were like good, not like unbelievable, but good, which kind of meant the market didn't puke. But the fact that we were all looking at that, I think, just points to the idea that like, you know,
That's what I
like,
was telling Tyler yesterday. I was like, the state of the market is that we're all like, everybody is like waiting for like Nvidia earnings to decide what they're gonna do next. Like, I thought that was ironic. Anyways,
yeah. So macro is freaking out a little bit. It's also like in the fear level. Crypto's really freaking out, and it feels like we're probably due a bounce, but I would never buy something like because the RSI is low. So like,
yeah.
be aware of that. That like,
Okay.
we might need even some more consolidation here. I like the stuff I said yesterday is the stuff I still like. So we had Bitcoin, I think, is obvious. Solana, I do think it's going to take longer for me for Solana to come out of this, just because I think the top has been kind of knocked out a little bit there. I don't think people are going to be calling for 300 Solana straight away. I think they'll be like, hopefully this goes back to like 170. And I think that's kind of where people would kind of see the range now, maybe like 160, 170 area. Then hype is always does well on these down days still. Sonic, we had Andre on the show.
Great show
last night. He did really, really well. Do think there's something very interesting going on there. And then interesting, like we can go with Tyler, but like does feel like some of the if the pump fund streets are closed, maybe some more of like the more established that seem to be doing okay. Yeah, I don't know if you want to get back in the trenches that much, but like it's very interesting to see that suddenly the more established Solana AI and meme coins.
I mean, Cookie got Coinbase. I mean, Tyler, let's go there, and then we'll go to your topics. But Mando already went there, so may as well.
Maker. I think we haven't talked about Maker as much. I feel like Maker is like the Sonic alternative play right now, where it's a similar concept, revenue generating. They're pumping $1 million a day, as I understand it. I
would say Maker is the radium of ETH. That's what it is. As we move back towards ETH, it's a radium play, right?
Also a buyback. I mean, the buybacks I think is a huge part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm starting to wonder. So I think these plays make sense. Casinos closed. Folks are looking for alternatives, next gen DeFi.
Yeah.
The concern is I feel like a lot of folks are buying these tokens for like a 2x. They're not in it for a 5 or 10x. And if that's the case, then you have folks who, okay, well, then I'm going to front run that and I'll sell at the plus 90%. And then I'll sell at the plus 80%. Is it less likely that we're going to see some of these moves? I'm seeing these plays kind of thrown out by more folks I think aren't necessarily typically deep into DeFi and days. And I'm just wondering how early/late it is. I'm being told we're late early.
Late early. I would say that too. Like that, I don't feel like this is DeFi has not been the number one trending thing on Kaito or anything like that. It's been growing. Like I think it got close to flipping meme coins about a week ago, but and that's in third. But like if DeFi becomes number one, that's when you'll know. But I would agree with you that DeFi in general is a 2x place. People look for 2x plus yield. That's what.
Where do you see that?
You gotta go to.
You guys have to have their actual product, right?
The leaderboard.
No, I don't think you need the product.
You need to look at. Go
to the Yapper leaderboard up top.
No, because it's.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't have it.
People, yeah, no. You need to have that, which talks about like the different trends. If you type into X right now, Kaito Mindshare, DeFi.
Yeah, it's true. It's probably going to be good. I see. So what you were suggesting is that there's going to be a resurgence.
Yeah, this is probably going to be pretty good. So AI has given
interesting. So DeFi's mindshare has grown from 4.5% to 12.5% month over month.
Right, which is kind of where it was long term. Like it's been there before. AI obviously was smashing it for a long time.
It took
but
the
like,
muse. Yeah.
I get the feeling that at some point in the next month or two, it might become number one or two. But I think that, the difference is, Tyler, you're completely right. I don't think this stuff is like Maker is not a 10x trade. There's no like, it's just not. But it can be a lower risk 2x trade. I think that's kind of what a lot of people will look for this stuff. It's like it's your Bitcoin plus play rather than your meme coin going 1000x play.
Yeah.
If that's your expectations, I think that's fine. Like one of my buddies says, basically he wants to outperform.
Yeah, that's fair. Trying to outperform main Bitcoin. I think Mando wrote about this the other day. Like he's looking for the 2x's. I'm in that camp. I'd rather do a 2x with size, honestly, than trying to chase the smaller 10x's at this stage.
I mean, maybe I was smoking the hopium a little bit yesterday, but I did with the conversation on Sonic. I did feel like this could be a 5x play. It could go to 10 billion relatively easily from 2, but I will probably sell it too. Just kind of
just in case, keep a little bag.
Yeah,
you were bullish. I mean, for anyone who's curious about Sonic, just go to Rect Radio yesterday and just listen to the show. It was really good. I actually really I thought it was really awesome. I ended up buying a bag, so I like it. Hopefully we can 2x on that. 2-3x exactly. 2-3x is huge, dude. 2-3x would be good. Anyways, Tyler. Mr. Tyler, let's see what you got for us today. I know you want to talk about some pump fun shit too.
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler tips on FOMO, our calls with his hand.
All right, crypto majors fall further yesterday as Trump announces more tariffs on the EU, but then have rebounded decently off the bottom. Amidst, we had the crypto fear and greed index hit the lowest level in over 18 months into extreme fear. We had the Bitcoin ETF see another 750 million in outflows, though. Kaito, another bright spot, soared at 30% overnight. They are down a little bit. Leading alts, Apps Maker also green on the day. We talked about this yesterday, but Bank of America, they do plan to enter the stablecoin game and offer their own against rival JP Morgan. And we've also got perhaps some negative news out of Washington. The crypto bill that we thought was going to happen in 100 days under Sachs, it looks like it might be closer to end of year. And then just in this morning, Dems are introducing legislation to prevent the president and family from launching tokens and securities in the wake of the Trump token launch. In other news, let's see, the SEC dropped its case against Gemini with no enforcement action. They're dropping cases by the day right now, folks. Polymarket, the odds on the Epstein list being revealed shot up to 95%. It looks like we might get that list today. The question is, how many names will be revealed? In token airdrop protocol news, AVAX launched the Avalanche card yesterday. It's this new crypto credit card, allowing holders to spend against their crypto assets. Phantom acquired the token data platform SimpleHash. Then WolvesDAO, the latest to launch an application for an AVAX airdrop. So for those who are grinding apps and pre-sales, go check that one out. In memes, and NFT is pretty quiet. Meme coin leaders mostly green, up about 2 to 4% on the day. Some like PopCat outperforming. I think PopCat up double digits. Abstract NFTs, more green.
Abstract NFTs.
The segment.
That got 1,000 likes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tyler. There's one community called the Bearish Bears. And they comment 500 comments on my post. Like, it was absurd. So that's usually bullish, just FYI. I don't have any, but bullish on that.
That is a good raid. Luca Nets, he reminded the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem that they will eat at the Abstract TGE. I think a reminder for the Bears out there. Sometimes you just have to hit people over the head with it. And then Pump Fun, it seems like everyone is calling for the death of Pump Fun. They still made $1 million. Revenue yesterday, $100 million on the platform. I think the calls of their death are quite premature.
Yeah. All right, let's start there.
Yet?
Pardon me?
Is the migration pool set up for them now?
I haven't seen any more progress on that front.
Right. So, like, what I mean is the fees aren't just satiated because of that. Is what I was trying to get at.
No, it hasn't happened yet. There was just some tests the other day. But Tyler, let's go there because I know you wanted to talk about this. So may as well just take on that. So is Pump Fund dead? I want people to tell me in the comments, is Pump Fund dead? Yes or no? Very simple on Twitter Spaces, on broadcast. By the way, we broadcast this show live on video every day, and you want to watch the video. It's much more fun, in my opinion. Tyler, I'll start with you. Is Pump Fund dead?
Yeah, absolutely not. So I've done my fair share of sharing some stats and metrics tied to Pump Fund and showing it's cooling off. And it is indeed cooled off significantly from peak. So right now we're looking at 25,000 tokens launched in the past day. For some perspective, around January peak, we were at 50 to 60,000 per day. So about 60 to 70% down from peak. Let's take a look at daily volumes. So 100 million roughly in daily volume the last few days.
Wow.
Peak was closer to 450 million. So down about 75% from a pure dollars and volume going through the platform stake. I think the numbers that have really started to go around the horn, I think that are more inaccurate, is the number of graduated tokens per day. So I think yesterday had 215. Someone grabbed a snapshot this morning when it was a partial day at 68. So you got to throw that one out.
Because it was 9 hours in, right? I saw some people share it. I saw it. Then you're like, no, this is a 9 hour stat.
I think that the peak was around 1,000 graduated tokens per day. So down 70, 80% again from peak. So everything is down significantly. But I think if you zoom out, we're basically back to October levels, summer 2024 levels, really even pretty close from a volume standpoint, in line with the entire first 3 to 6 months of pump, and still 3x higher than the August, September lows. So that's when it was really crickets. And that's actually the last time the crypto fear and greed index hit extreme fear was on September 6th. That's when one was seeing $33 million a day. So now we're back into extreme fear, and Pump Fund's still seeing triple the daily volume.
Yeah. I mean, this is wild. 10. Fear. I know you shared the coin market cap one, but I like to go off the OG. This is wild. Fear and greed index, extreme fear at 10. People are saying, where's the bottom? And the bottom's 0, but has it ever gone sub 10?
I was looking at I was only looking at the coin market cap one, and
it has been a 10 before, yeah.
Okay, so we're basically at all-time lows, right?
So it was at, what's this? It went all the way down. This chart is tough because let's put on like 1 year. I mean, that's the lowest yearly it's been. And on max, this is the lowest it's been since, I mean, here was very low, right? Remember, summer 22, like that was horrible. June 14th, 2022. The code today on Rollbit is fear, by the way. Rafflebot.xyz, rafflebot.xyz. Make sure, y'all sign up. We give away like money every single day. Rafflebot.xyz, code is fear. FEAR. So look, Tyler, it looks like it was at 8. Then, this looks like low. I want to see what that is. How low is this? It won't tell me. Yeah. Wow.
I was trying to see where it was. So when Solana hit $8, I think that was, trying to figure out what day that was. I think it was like maybe December 30th, 2022.
I mean, price of crypto, June 14, 2022. Price of crypto, June 14, 2022. It was 22K Bitcoin.
Sol was $16 roughly.
I mean, I don't know. Hold on. I'd have to go see. I'm assuming a lot of the fear and greed index is led by what's going on in the Solana move, right?
Seeing it at 10, man, like that makes you like, at least if you've got capital and you find a DCA, I feel like DCAing in when it's at 10 seems like not a terrible bet. And like caveat, if macro goes into a recession here, like of course I think we're going to have more near-term pain. So you need to fade a global recession.
Yeah.
Starting DCA in extreme fear doesn't seem terrible, and I'm not even talking about RSI and all that. Interestingly, so I actually looked at some of the numbers. If we want to get into the fear and greed index, I was looking at the chart. And I was like, is it really just that simple as you just sell?
Yeah.
fear and greed index gets in, like when it leaves extreme greed.
Man's shaking his head.
Brother, I remember being in extreme greed for like 10 months in 2022. So extreme fear for like, and the moment we went in, it got like 60%. Like,
but let's see the numbers. Tyler did some little. He went all sleuth on us on this one.
So caveats. This is a small sample size. This is looking at when we basically the last 3 months. The last picture in time when crypto went from extreme fear into extreme greed. And effectively, if you sold your bags, I looked at majors and a small sample of memes. If you sold when we entered extreme fear, you captured about 75 to 80% of the move in majors. You captured a much smaller portion of the move in memes, closer to like 30 to 40%. This past cycle, you basically would have missed most of the AI run if you would have sold when we first entered extreme greed. Now that was 10th. If you sold when we exited extreme greed, that was on December 18th, you captured 90% effectively of the move in majors, and then you captured about 55% of the move in memes. So you would have had to have known that you were giving up a 2x roughly in your meme bags. Like you would have to know that, okay, you're going to miss that final 2 to 3x push, but you captured downside. And then if you look at where these coins are at now, basically majors are at roughly 60 to 80% of their all-time peak. Memes significantly lower, closer to 25%. So again, small sample, but looking at this, it seems like the optimal play is to try to wait for it to leave extreme greed. And you'll have captured 90% of the move in majors and all but the final 2x in memes. I would like to have run this with a lot more coins to get better data. This is a small sample. I admit that. I was just kind of doing this while I was putting the kids to bed last night. The flip side, the upside, if you bought Extreme Fear September 6th, you caught 96% ROI on Bitcoin, 80% in ETH.
Wow.
I think it's good if you think the overall trend of the market is going to stay high, like we're in a bull market, then obviously buying the first move into extreme fear is a good one. If you think we're breaking down, then you can get destroyed.
So how does this apply today, Mendo?
Well, I would agree that I think this is the bull market's going to continue. I'm not that worried about.
This made me want to buy yesterday. You know how like Monday I came in saying like, yeah, I'm like scared of buying. This yesterday, I read Tyler's post, then I looked into it more. Then I'm not making decisions based on RSIs, but maybe short-term ones for bounces, Mando, like you said. And then I looked at the stats and I looked at how much I personally hated buying, and I was like, whoa, that's weird because I'm known to be the guy that's trigger friendly, trigger happy. So I actually think in this case, fear index like is kind of useful. Like worst case, what we stay in that 10 for like a few weeks, and we chop for longer, but. Surely, if you accumulate here slowly in DCA over time, you win over. Like, surely this is a good period.
This is exactly what I was saying to you.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly what I was saying to you. Like, this is the time that you want to buy.
Yeah.
You just have to be. I think you just have to be cautious that you can be in this period for a while. Like, it's not just like a.
Yeah. Don't expect to make life-changing gains in the next 14 days if you're like full porting here.
Interesting. I just put a survey out on my channel.
Let's see.
Which is just like, let's say this is the bottom, what would you want to buy? Soul Hype, AVAX, Sonic.
Let's see. Well, I'm going to go back bias here. Tyler, what about you? I feel like you'll say Hype or Soul.
Hype, yeah.
Hype? Okay. What about you, Mendo? I mean, I think I know what Mendo's answer is, but...
I actually wanted to know this more than anything. Like, what is... I kind of... I always feel like the AVAX community is like, really fucking loud.
I mean, they're fighting right now.
They've got like this pre-sale thing going on, right? Which is like people are getting annoyed about, all that sort of stuff.
I don't know, man. Every time I like Avalanche, I like the team members. I like the energy there, like when it comes to gaming and stuff like that. And also like they're very creator centric, so I can't hate that, personally speaking. Like I love a good like creator chain. They support a lot of creators also in our industry, which is important in my opinion. But every time I think about taking a trade, I don't, because then I always think, oh wait, I'll just buy Solana, or now the new thing, which is like Sonic, or the other new thing. I don't know why. From a brand perspective, I like them though. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What do you think, Tyler?
I think AVAX, a part of the core theory of the AVAX was that it would trade as Sol Beta.
Yeah.
At least
now. Like, is it ever going to decouple from Solana?
There's more alternatives, and this has nothing to do with what the team is doing. And there's a lot going on inside that ecosystem. A lot of reasons to be bullish. But as we continue, more L2s, more L1s, there's just more alternatives, and there's new shiny objects, right? And I think that has likely taken some capital away from the existing alts.
Yeah. I mean, AVAX right now is highly led by this pre-sale meta, which Bolt on your comments is right. Hype seems to have started establishing itself on the timeline.
If I had done this 3 months or 6 months ago, it would have been Solana by a country mile. Is basically
yeah.
what
I do think maybe Sui should have been. I wish you could put more than 4, right? Because you could argue some people will want to go on Sui because of the Phantom integrations and everything they've been doing.
Maybe I should have done Sui instead of AVAX, but it's, like right now, I see more from the AVAX community than from the Sui community. Sui community still feels rather B2B to me.
Yeah, Sui's very B2B. You're right.
I'm looking for consumer style chains more than anything. Same with XRP, for example, right? Like,
oh my god, yesterday I liked the guys. I was on Instagram yesterday, and I liked the post because it was so funny. Like, me and the boys when XRP goes to $1,000, and then the Instagram algorithm started feeding me all these Instagram reels on why XRP is going to $589. Like, for some reason, that's the number, 589. And I was fed all this crazy bait. Anyways, Tyler, there's a few other things on there that we should go over that you talked about. What was it? There's some major stuff.
Pump Fund. What do you guys think?
I don't think Pump Fund's dead. I still think
me neither.
I still think it's it's actually one of the revolutions of this cycle is the ease of creating tokens.
No.
So I think I love Solana. Like, I really, really do. And I think I've said so many times that we can come back, but the time, it's more a timing thing, right? It's like, do I think this is going to be the strongest horse coming out of this? I think it looks really oversold. But I think that people are like, as we've all said, like it needs to form around a new narrative. Solana's been very good at that. It's picked up on the new thing, and it tried to pick up on NFTs, did well, then did deep in for a long time, and then memes, right? Memes weren't really a Solana thing ever.
No.
Right? Like, we had some random ones before Whiff and Bonk. I forget what they were called, but was it like Guacamole was one? Like, there was just really random ones in the early days.
Oh, the guac one, I remember that.
Yeah. And then it just dominated it. So maybe Solana DeFi, if DeFi becomes a big thing, but I don't know. But I would never rule out Solana reinventing itself a little bit here and being strong at the thing that everyone kind of flocks to do. But I just think that maybe the bottom is here or near, but I think the top has been slightly knocked out. That's all I would say.
That's what I was going to say. If you're buying it, what do you what's your target, even if the bull market
160, bro?
Okay, it has to be higher than 160.
My short-term target. I talk about this with Mendo a lot. 160 short-term target is not. I don't know. What do you think, Mendo?
If I look at where it kept on bouncing off, it was that 170 area, right? If you bring up a Solana chart, you'll see.
I think this is the best chart I've seen on Solana. It was from today.
170, it hit a number of times and rebounded. I would guess that is your number one point of resistance.
It's running right now. I don't know what happened, but there's a nice candle on it just now as we're talking. We must have said something right.
Well, you know what is happening?
What?
We have the unlocks and then the vote to reduce the inflation.
Right.
And the ETF.
An ETF, right? This stuff.
That was pretty much confirmed yesterday, right?
Oh, I may have missed that if there was ETF. The scanner I've seen is the Sol ETF isn't coming until Q4.
No, here, look. It was added yesterday to the website.
It was added to DTCC
last night.
Which can take a long time still. But,
yeah. I mean, it's the move forward, was what I'm trying to say.
But I think even if Solana got an ETF, that would be the resistance level, which is 170, which is up 20% from here.
Yeah, if we zoom out, right? I remember because I've traded Solana so much this cycle, but it was always like 127. That was always a huge. It was so hard to break that, right? When it was first broke down, broke. And you're right. It was like 183 mark, 163, 183. Like there's these like numbers that I've seen a million times on this chart.
It also is just like a bigger cup and handle.
Where? Oh yeah, you like your cup and handles, don't you?
That handle seems like it got broken pretty badly, though.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know when you see the cup and that one.
It's a big,
Yeah.
big handle on that cup.
That could look more like a zero bro pattern here, but
Zoom
I still
the zero bro pattern.
the zero.
None of the charts look that good to me. Like if I bring up all the coins I just mentioned there, right? Bring up.
Yeah, let's look at Sonic is one big cup and handle. You should be your favorite one. Here.
Yeah, look, that looks like a bit of a cup and handle, obviously. But hyperliquid
Bitcoin doesn't look good either, man.
Bitcoin looks like it's oversold. That's what it looks like right
Does
now.
it though? Like, don't you think
the oversold metrics? I don't like. I agree. It broke through that 88 level. So right. So now you're just trying to find. It was an air gap. It was an air gap from 75 to 88, and we've just broken below that.
Let's look at hyperliquid. That's your hyperliquid chart.
BNB actually, yeah. Someone just mentioned that. That's actually not a bad chart. But
why does it do that? BNB. Let me pull it up.
BNB is a much better looking chart than Hype right now. Hype kind of looks like the Bitcoin chart where it's just like broken below like the resistance.
Yeah. Let's look at BNB here. BNB is always a weird one. Have you guys ever owned BNB?
I have several times, but I don't think I've ever made money on it. Like it's one of these ones where like it's actually remarkably stable as a coin. I can't tell you how stable owning BNB is. More stable than Bitcoin. Like it barely moves. But whenever I own it, it's normally around like I think some new BNB season is going to happen and it never fucking happens. So
yeah, like the broccoli thing. So like everyone was buying BNB thinking it's going to happen, and even CZ couldn't use his own chain. He's like, DEXs don't work. It takes 27 minutes to move money, and you realize he's talking about BNB, BSC. That was kind of right, guys. Like that was a little.
In the scenario where BNB doubled, I would feel like Hype could do more than a double. I feel like that's part of one of the targets, one of the things that's paid.
No.
If it keeps getting into the perp share, and I know there's more to BNB than that.
I like that thesis. Anyways, all right. Well, before we go to the Robot loot box spins, Tyler, did we miss anything? Looks like we really went around good today.
Yeah, I think we went around it. I think that there's a bit of the reality check happening in Congress right now. So from everyone who got bulled up on Sachs and the crypto task force and then being able to push through these bills in 100 days, which was their initial target, it seems like what came out of the Senate subcommittee meeting yesterday was no urgency, no rush. They're still defining terms, and it looks much more like end of year at the earliest than 100 days. So it does seem like we might need to wait on some of these things, which likely would be the same thing for any kind of U.S. strategic reserve.
Got it.
Temper your expectations. But still some progress on the state level, like Texas passed one of their initial committee hearings on their reserve. So I think if even one state gets there, I think that's going to be a big news and a big headline.
Didn't one state basically get there like yesterday?
Utah got very close.
Yeah,
they passed both chambers of House.
Right. So what's left there if it passed both chambers of the House?
Maybe governor approval.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's definitely a lot of time to wait. I think we just need to be patient. There's gonna be some cool plays, little NFT plays, niche plays here and there, little meme coin plays here and there, but nothing wild. You just got to really pay attention, I think, to what's going on. So it's going to be an interesting few months. I think it's just the builders market in general. So we're chilling. We're going to keep quacking. Oh, one last thing. What is wall chain? So what is this quack shit? Like, well, we picked the winners and stuff. Like, what is this quacking thing?
Yeah, so it looks like Wallchain is launching a Kaito rival alternative that's going to have their own ranking system. they are going to reward users with their version of the apps, which is called Quacks. If you get an invite code, you can sign up and you will be rewarded with some Quacks based on your last 30 days of activity. There's also a CT leaderboard.
Is there? I thought it didn't work. It's backed by Aliens DAO. That's what Amanda was sending it to. Yeah, Alliance DAO backed it. Yeah.
Aliens DAO. I thought it was Aliens. I was like, who the fuck was it?
Aliens. The Aliens DAO.
Yeah, this is the thing about Kaito, which I think we said, like, this Kaito was the best to do it so far.
This is coming soon.
There are so many things I've seen over the last 3 or 4 years, which is CT leaderboard.
You remember NFT Inspect?
NFT Inspect, Lunar Crush. What was the one after that? Even I guess Friendtech for a certain period. Then we've had Fantasy Top, then Kaito. Basically, the technology to do this, I don't think is that difficult.
I feel we're just back at that period of that social fi narrative hits before the big run.
Right, but if Kaito is worth 3 billion, I think we're going to see a ton of these. Do you know what I mean? Like,
dude,
it's not a diss on Kaito. It's like, if you're worth 3 billion, we're going to see like 50 different people come out and say, "Hey, yeah, I can do this."
They're going to want a piece of the pie.
Why not sign up? Like, what's the downside? I guess you are turning over access to your Twitter. So I guess always know, I guess that's the risk vector in all of these. But other than that, no capital required. You earn Quacks for doing what you're already doing.
Yeah, Mando, and sign up using my code.
Stars Arena. That was the other one.
Hey, and that's still around, by the way.
Okay. Over
that one
TV.
Out of between Friendtech that like completely dipped over with like $50 million, Stars Arena is still around and very well alive. They still have this like community going. So I see them here and there. I'm not on it, but I do still see them on my timeline. So
FTB.
Exactly. All right. So damn, I'm excited. You're right, man. If all these apps are worth billions,
particularly that one. Like,
how big is
a lot of people
going to be?
Trying to do this for a while.
Yeah, love it. All right, let's get to this. I really want to buy coins. Every time we get like the tiniest pump, like we literally just like get like suppressed. Like it's like, I'm trying. Rafflebot is blocked in Canada. There's no chance. There's no geo blocking on the Rafflebot. It's for everyone.
Take a little flight.
Yeah, just take a little flight. All right, Sabs, let's give some money away, man. I got a long day ahead of me. Carbon Bake. Carbon BAC. Carbon Bake, congratulations. Ooh, that is a real person indeed. All right, Carbon Bake. Carbon BAYC, get your ass on stage. Oh, there you are. Sorry, I didn't see you because the PFP didn't load. BAYC 7948, MAYC 11713, 2910, 25897, and 28681. What up, Carbon? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Are you ready to make some money?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Well, look, you're either going to join the Punk community, the Rec community, or the Pudgy community today. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right, let's spin. Ooh, that's a nice Rec guy, baby.
Wow.
Let's go with $2,000. Let's fucking go. Congratulations. You want a Rec guy? Not just any, though. That's a nice one. That's the Mog ones. Those go for way above floor. Love that. I mean, it says $2,000 on there, so that's nice. Congratulations. You absolutely love to see that. All right. Well, gents, I know we'll see you tomorrow, but I'm saying what I mean is hopefully higher prices tomorrow and we get a real turnaround today. With that, we're done with that. See you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.